So my name is Reshounn Foster. I go by the moniker Sun. I represent Always First Detroit. And in the North End, I am one of the co-founders of the Oakland Avenue Artists Coalition. And I serendipitously created what is now known as Hip N Zen North End. I am a legacy Detroiter. 5 and more generations of my family have lived here. My mother and my father were the ones that were born here, and everybody before them came from down south. What had happened was I lived in North Rosedale Park. I bought a house December 31st, 2008, and then I lost my job in October 2009. Along with that came me having what I call my biblical Job moment. My best friend, when I lost the house, her house had been unoccupied. We've now, as of this year, been best friends for 33 years. So back in 2012, June of 2012, when I didn't have a solid place of my own to go, and her family home had been unoccupied, she gave me the keys to her house in the North End on King Street. And it gave me a sense of peace being there. It was really, really quiet in the neighborhood. And so the house, for me, became a safe haven. And because my best friend and her family cared enough about me to give me a place to live, and I decided to pay homage to the family by taking care of the house. When I had possession of the house, my best friend Imani, then we always had a vow with each other. Wherever one person has a place to lay their head, the other one does too. And Imani needed a place to stay, so she stayed with me at King Street for a full year. And she's a writer, I'm a writer by trade, and so we would do our kitchen table talks. And I had begun to ask Alexis, could I host cultural art salons in the home? And so then after Imani left, there were 2 other artists, and then another artist after they left. Now during this time, I didn't have an understanding or an awareness of what an artist residency was. My background is working in corporate and nonprofits, and it was never in art or arts administration until I started working in the North End. And it was just a thing that, you know, we all needed a place to live. So Hip N Zen was, it was something that I started it when I was in North Rosedale and I was coming to the end of the foreclosure. I found these words, Hip N Zen, and I put it on my vision board. My thought to save the house from foreclosure was to create a community hub over there, because I had a 2,300 square foot house, not even including the basement. So I had 3 bedrooms, a 3rd level, full basement, and it was enough room where it's like, hey, everybody just come over here and you take this room and you take this room. And words are magic. It's called spelling for a reason, right? So the spells from the vision board followed me over to King Street. My thing was, anybody that's staying in a house, we're doing stuff in the community. I had done cultural arts organizing in the house, so there were a lot of times I had micro concerts. So a lot of my friends are artists and musicians, and so we had that 8-year period from 2012 to 2020 doing things like healing art circles. We had Craig Huckabee come and do the healing art of the drum. So I had artist talks and author talks, and sometimes confessionals. People come over to the house and hang out. We had showcases. My friend Brenda Williams, who's Alexis's god sister, we did a full-on showcase. And it was cool, it was intimate, but it was also, at any given day, it might be 5 to 50 people in the house. We come together to help each other cope in the world. And the modalities that we use are art. You have language, music, movement, and images that help you to learn and help you to grow and help you to process concepts. And so when we then, for me and many of us who come together in Hip N Zen, when we're talking about community in the home, we also transfer a lot of that into the development and the grassroots level, social activism, and we feed each other. We have these kitchen table talks and potlucks, and we listen to music and we perform for each other. And it feels good. It feels really, really good. After a while, it began to be as much fun as it was. I just took a step back. I went on a sabbatical, and the house now is back with my best friend. I still, go over there. We still hang out. We still, do the a lot of the what I call creative incubation. And when I created Hip N Zen North End, or themed the house Hip N Zen North End, that was the first of the artist residencies that were there. The block has incubated, so like Jason Lindy with Fool House, and then Detroit Poetry Society, and then the North End Safety Patrol has granted the community on the block to rehab the church, and just the Joy Project, and just so many different innovative, kind of kooky, weird. We're like the other people in the neighborhood refer to us as like, that's the hippie, hippie block. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I like the word hippie or hipster, but I get it. Actually, when I moved into the North End, before anybody moved in with me, I walk through the neighborhood and I feel, the energy of places when I walk through. And I saw the sunflower sculpture that Keith Parker did. I didn't know him at the time. And so I did more research, and that's how I found out about the North End, and I refer to it as the garden that grew Motown. People come together for a common goal. If one neighbor needs something, all of us are willing to, step in and assist each other.